Okay. I am thirsty right now, so it's my plan to make a dreamsicle. But before I crack into this vanilla milk, crack into the soda, and open this vanilla milk, which is expired by more than a week. So this is for the dreamsicle now, and I'm hoping it's still good vanilla milk. I got a lucky case of vanilla milk, and I wanted to use this case of vanilla milk to talk about the word restocking. What are stocking stuffers? It's nearly Christmas at the end of December, so now it's the beginning of November. So what are stocking stuffers you might find in December? Stock. Well, I alive the stock, but you don't know that because if you don't consume it, you don't know it because you don't consume it. If you consume it, you don't know it because it's not due to eat anything. You're all strangers to each other. I am the top of the Godhead. It's not my order that strangers would eat together. I might be someone you don't know, but God does know me to myself. That's how I'm not a stranger in God around a lot of people who don't know who I am. And yet, you know, I'll have what you're having. Give me your keys and get out. Yes. So you'll find out who I am that way, but it will be utter disappointment that I did not have what is mine to myself, and I don't have a question like that. Do you know I don't have what is mine to myself since the beginning of time, of this lifetime, of this world? I don't have what is mine to myself, and I am none higher than me deceased right here. Well, that's not my question to you with myself about myself. How are you going to pay for that? I am myself, is myself, to myself, with myself. How are you going to pay for that now? I'm almost deceased out of the door locking, almost deceased out of the formed world. Okay, I'm going to execute the word restocking in honor of the words stocking stuffers. Sponsored by, I don't know, maybe Stouffer's. Lasagna. Okay, so I will open the fridge and restock the fridge. I have milk in the fridge, but they're different. So this is the milk that goes there. I am restocking. That means if you are restocking something and you say, this is restocking, and then you put it on your video. Either you say it in the video, or you in print, let's say, for example. So you use the word restocking on the YouTube video short, where you can you can have it in print or in writing. Okay, I just restocked the vanilla milk. It's done. Now, everyone else who has restocking in their videos, you're wrong to myself. And I'm not sending you harassment comments because there are too many of you. Yes, there are too many of you who use the word restocking. No, I'm not going to help you with that. And who are you people that are trying to corner myself with a comment underneath the videos I post with a notification that alerts myself that you left a comment? And you don't even know each other. When I get a notification, the people who make the comments that I see notification of, those people in the notifications don't know each other. They don't see it the way I do. Wow. So much for the internet. So what if you ask the question, yeah, but how do you know that what somebody else thinks is restocking is not restocking? And that's you having to be deceased because you have an illegal alive mental capacity. It's deceased to ask that question to myself or anywhere, because you can't just say no to everything you see and hear and make somebody pay for that. It doesn't exist. To myself, how do you want me to pay for that? It doesn't exist. Isn't that kind of what you're, driving at? What do I do if someone doesn't agree with me because it doesn't exist? Yeah. Well, you pay a lot of charges with money that doesn't exist to me. I've been deceased for 3 years, and I can have everything for that reason as well. I get everything that's mine to myself anyway, the way I think it is to myself anyway, because I'm none higher than me deceased. But because I'm homeless in the threatening, I don't have what it takes to tell you no. So I end up paying charges with no such thing money. It's somebody else's money and you don't care. You don't actually look into it. My mom's not this far in the wrong. My mom figures she paid a lot of charges for me at the beginning of my lifetime when I didn't ask her to. That's what I mean. She did it for myself, like against myself, but she did it. Well, the people who collected the money from her, um, they didn't investigate into the charges, like who was consuming what she bought. Because she paid charges for herself, she's not supposed to pay any charges. That's why it's charges you don't pay. But you're this far in the wrong with that you don't know how you're not supposed to pay a charge. And it's really not fair that the cashiers are as far in the wrong as they are if they just stand by the register and tell you that they don't want to sell you anything. They want everything in the store to stay in the store, except for they have to know that I need what I need for myself and that I am not the same as you. They have to know that I'm the Godhead, and you are supposed to increasingly know that until you die in God, and you should know how to die in God. That may involve you going to homeless and go to jail and prison, and that's how you die in God. So the cashiers, do you know who you are? Because I would go through every one of the payment transactions that my mom made for food that I consumed, but I can't go through it that way because it's not recorded that way. It's deceased in the threatening. Yeah, but I'm deceased right here. I can afford to see all the threatening. That means I need to find where she's so malicious it's to be eliminated, but she still traveled on the threatening and held keys to my house. And I don't know why my house didn't just, like, I went to the same address someday and I found it was a huge tower with my mom still holding keys to the tower. Are you trying to keep it the same so I think that my room is in there? That's true if she's, well, which way is it? It's my house to myself and it looks the same so that it is my room to myself, my house to myself? Or is it something that looks like Trump Tower or a skyscraper in New York? Any name, and that my mom figure lives in there with as many keys as she can hold on a keyring, and the rest of the keys, I guess she can just hold them in a safekeeping room someplace in the tower. What effect does the music have on the appearance of the buildings? And then, what do we consider about the car? Let's say the cars are new. The cars change every 10 years of traffic. They're all different. And every year there are new cars added. I suppose some cars are taken out of traffic. Every year, every 10 years, they look like different traffic, different cars that are in traffic together are different every 10 years. And I am thinking of my house. It looks about the same until it's not really in view anymore. My house looks the same from the year 1980 onwards, so that I can find it and say that it's my house to myself. In Fox Point, Wisconsin, Milwaukee County. Well, I can't get into my house. Yeah. I would like to go into my house and I would like to see what it looks like in the consumption of my lifetime. I would like to clear out the neighborhood space and see if I could find a whole tower in where my house used to be. So what is the meaning of that? Because there are new cars, but the buildings and houses stay like they look the same unless you once in a while see a new constructed building. But pretty much the houses and buildings look the same. Well, I want to know what happens with the music on the radio, because if you play the radio of a car or you play music in the car, you need a new car every year, or within 10 years, you need a new car, and the house stays the same. Why is that? I've been living in this apartment and outside for more than 10 years, and it doesn't look any better. But there are a lot of new cars that have been sold so that I can stay here. You mean God didn't give me a death because he didn't want to sell a new fleet of cars to a lot of people who wouldn't give me keys to live someplace else? That's nice. I can't afford it. You're trying to crunch me into your space problem. Yeah, you have a space problem and a control problem and a keys problem and a carjacking problem. And you're putting me in interest with your problems. And I already said I'm deceased like 3 years ago. You want me to have some interest in your problems? I don't think you do, because you won't let them go and just die of that you stop doing crime lording on my life. You don't actually stop to see if you would die if you stop. You do it like you're performing what this world reality should be for me. The way you think of me and the way you think of yourself and what's yours to yourself and where you go with yourself and how you groom yourself.